turned off. You can't publicly chat in there. You got to be a member. That's a bold move. And the only thing it did look like was increase his memberships to his channel. So you got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so we have regular YouTube and then we have pay-per-view YouTube. Kevin Samuels is pay-per-view because you're never watching a Kevin Samuels live stream without paying and being able to interact. You have to pay to interact in there. You in order to comment in the comments threads, it actually costs you money. You can call into the Zoom and get embarrassed on there for free. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing as a job. That's why it's so important to negotiate your pay rate. What he's talking about is resume and negotiating your pay rate. You know what I mean? When you go to your job, you should always be aiming to try to maximize your income. Because when you maximize your income, you're setting yourself up for your next entry level job. Yo, what up? It's your boy Rob, coming back at you once again with another video. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get to it. So we got another jewel drop from my man Allende over there at Authentic Alphas. And man, it's good to see this brother's channel blow up, man. I need y'all to go over there and smash the like button, hit the bell icon twice, because it's about time we start getting some people that actually have some common sense and give practical advice for a lot of these situations that everybody seems to be fixated on, which is how to figure out how to deal with the opposite sex. I mean, it's just, there's so much other stuff that people could be talking about. You know what I mean? So much other important stuff going on in the world. But apparently, this is where everybody's mind is at. So let's actually see where Allende's mind is at and see if I agree or disagree with any of the stuff that he's talking about. Right here is a concept that he's talking about called the concept of the high value man. Now, a lot of people got introduced to the high value man concept during the rise of Kevin Samuels. But even Kevin Samuels says that this is a concept that has been around for a long time. And in my opinion, it's just a common sense concept. However, everybody has a different of what makes a high value man. In my opinion, I find it very interesting that men who claim to be heterosexual are defining other men as high value, because if men are defining other men as high value, then that means that men are saying what women want. But I find that kind of hypocritical when these men say one thing and they don't have tangible results, right? There's a lot of men who talk about this whole high value concept and they don't have women. So I don't know how that works, but apparently it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, people making a ton of money out here on YouTube and got massive amounts of followers and followings. So I mean, it's definitely working for them as far as, you know, getting popularity and financial reward. But are you actually cozying up to something soft at night after listening to these, people? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know some people just have it and other people don't. I know that some people have an internal locus of control and a type A personality. Some people don't. So now that I'm off my rant, let's actually hear what the authentic alpha himself, Allende, has to say about this topic. Let's get it.
What's up, family? Step into the web for another useful tip. So check it out. What do men want? Men want young, beautiful women.
Is that true? Do men want young, beautiful women? I think for the most part, for most men that would be true. I'm somewhat of, a different breed. I like compatible women. Compatibility is very important for me. And you have to be able to interact. I need a woman that can interact with me. It's not just good enough for you to sit there and look good and be arm candy. You have to be able to talk. You have to have a soul. Like, I want to interact with you. Like, it's not all about going out and showing you off. It's not all about sex. Like, I need to be able to actually like live with you if you're gonna be my partner. We gotta interact. You know what I mean? Just looking good and sitting there like a piece of furniture, like a statue, for me, that is not sufficient. That is not sufficient at all. You know what I'm saying?
Cooperative and submissive. What do women want? In one word, women want more. What do I mean by more? I mean they want a man with more everything.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. I do believe that. And I think men kind of go the same way too.
More height, more power, more discipline, more success. Which means,
and in that right there, what he just said, that's where you start to get into those dimensions of the high value. I think, in my opinion, that's where you get into those dimensions of the high value.
She wants a man of value. If you're more valuable than her by definition, you're more important, you're more busy.
Now that's interesting because he sets up an economic argument. The demand that the man has for the woman, he's saying that one thing that can solidify your value is that if the woman's demand or the woman's necessity for you and for what you have to offer is greater than her necessity for you, that kind of locks you in as high value. You kind of have lodged yourself into a secure position as the man for this woman. I gotta agree with that for the most part. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, I have to agree with that. That's one of the reasons why if you listen to the old music, you know what I'm saying? You listen to back when hip hop was really good music. Biggie said, "I don't chase them, I replace them. And if I'm caressing them, I'm undressing them." Like a lot of this stuff that these people are now called, dude, this fucking red pill knowledge. No, it's not fucking red pill knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's shit that came out in rap music back in the day. Y'all too busy listening to people that got pink dreadlocks and look like clowns and rapping with a bunch of mumbling. You can't even understand the lyrics for the shit to be beneficial. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is just go listen to an old Rapping Forte album. Go listen to an old Tupac album, I Get Around. Go listen to a Biggie album. Listen to LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? Dude, it's red pill knowledge, man. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not red pill knowledge. It's not. What was y'all listening to growing up? Y'all mixed up, don't know how to deal with anything. The thing is back in the hip hop era, you had the women that men are complaining about now. Oh, the Nicki Minaj is, yeah, okay. I don't want my daughter growing up being like Nicki Minaj. I don't want my daughter growing up being like Cardi B. I don't want my daughter growing up like none of that. But why y'all sitting up here acting like this is a new kind of woman? Like this is new. We ain't never seen this before. You don't remember Trina? What was that girl named Kaya or whatever who made that song My Neck and My Back? You don't remember her? You know what I'm saying? You don't remember Lil Kim, Foxy Brown? They've been around. That kind of stuff been around. That's not new. They copied off of them. So why everybody acting like, oh, I don't know how to handle this? That kind of rhetoric has been around. And then you had the other rhetoric, the counter rhetoric. People like Too Short. You know what I'm saying? People like Do or Die from Chicago. You know what I mean? People been talking about this stuff. It's not red pill knowledge, dude. It's not red pill. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's common sense. It's lyrics that people used to have in hip hop back in the day. I don't know what's wrong with a lot of cats, man. I think a lot of people like just kind of just straight up like lost their way. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, though, I gotta agree with my man Allende on this.
What I'm getting at is that she needs to be on your mind far less than you're on her mind.
That's facts. That's facts. Even women will tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you first start with the interaction, you have to have like a little bit of a mystery behind you. You have to have like some kind of element that you can use to create a little bit of tension. Now, I'm not saying be manipulative. I'm not saying play with nobody's head. I'm not saying do none of that immature stuff that everybody thinks is fun to do today. I'm talking about a proper courtship. You know what I'm saying? If you throw out all your cards, on the table in the beginning, then you don't have no trump cards that you can pull. You know what I mean? So, you basically have to conduct yourself in a business-like way. You have to conduct yourself in a professional way. And this makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to establish mystery. You have to be perceptive. You have to understand the things that she's interested in. You know what I'm saying? And you have to appeal to those things while showing your value and how you can not only satisfy those needs, not only satisfy curiosity, but also how you can maintain that satisfaction and improve on it long term over time. You got a very short window of time to do this. You know what I mean? And it's possible, very easy actually, if you actually know how to pay attention and read people. But the thing is that nowadays we have a lot of these people that's not authentic. We got a lot of these people that just say what they want to say because they zaddies and they used to just being able to say anything, and even without any credentials, they can just talk it. And it is what it is because society gave them that privilege that they turn around and tell you don't exist. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, actually deal with people that have actually had these kind of experiences. You know what I mean? Actually deal with these people that have a track record. Like, what's the track record? You know what I mean? And the thing is, this is what I'm talking about. When it comes to a lot of this advice that people give, if you actually have been out there in the world, then you understand that a lot of this stuff that people say, you're like, yo, man, this is crazy, man. This is far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't even make no damn sense. You know what I'm saying? How is anybody doing anything successfully based off this nonsense? This is something that I could see getting somebody smacked in the face. What's that dude's name that was on Scarface? What's his name? Manolo or something like that? Getting smacked in the face like Manolo did.
Oh, look at that. Hey, yo!
You're sick.
You see what happened to him? Hey!
Hey, if I wasn't a nice guy, I'd
Come on, come on.
you
She's
know?
too big for you. Come on. Cause she's trouble like that. Come on.
Bitch.
What I try to tell you?
Lesbian.
What I try to tell you? This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
You know what I mean? So, you got to pay attention to stuff and it's got to actually sound right. Like Occam's razor, the simplest explanation is most likely the most correct and appropriate explanation. And Allende is coming with common sense. I don't agree with everything Allende says because I don't agree with everything that anybody says. But most of what he's saying, I mean, it's common sense. It's practical. That's why people love watching those live streams with him on Duke and Don show, because he's saying practical stuff that can be applied that makes sense. He ain't telling you nothing crazy, stupid burning desire type shit. Ain't nobody on that dumbass shit.
Oh, look at that.
Hey!
Yo!
You're sick.
You see what happened to him?
That's why Abba and Preach clown that shit.
A man on her mind is a man on his grind. Get what I'm saying? A man on her mind is a man on his grind. Focus on you and your business. You make time for the women's when the work is done.
See, and this is what I'm talking about, man. Ain't that what Scarface said? Scarface said, Manolo, listen, man. First you get the money.
What I try to tell you? This country, you gotta make the money first. Then when you get the money, you get the power. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
First you get the money. Then you get the power. See? First you get the money. Then you get the power. That's a very short, summarized Cliff Notes version of what he's saying. And that's facts. That's real. How is this not common sense to y'all? I really need to know, like, what is the age group of the age demographic of y'all little rugrats that don't know how to talk to a woman? Man, listen, man, let me shut up. No, I ain't about to even say that. But what is the age group for real that got y'all all mixed up? Because I'm guessing, man, Allende got to be my age, and like this is just common sense stuff. And like this is the thing, like ain't nobody coming off cocky. Allende, he ain't coming off cocky. Like, yeah, I get all these hoes. You know what I'm saying? He ain't coming off cocky. And like I said, I have a girlfriend that I love and appreciate and care about. You know what I mean? And so I'm not trying to come off cocky, like, I can just do all this stuff. But I mean, just basic elements though. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with y'all? See, that's the problem, man. He probably grew up listening to the same kind of hip hop and the same kind of R&B and stuff like that I listen to. And like he said, he had strong male bonds with the men in his family. So he was around men who knew how to handle themselves and men who knew how to have conversations and be logical. What's wrong with y'all young people? What's wrong with y'all? Anybody that's like 30 and under, that's like, I don't know, I'm going my own way. Man, what's wrong with y'all, man? Honestly, like a lot of this stuff, men gotta be accountable for some of this stuff, man. Y'all letting people just get out of control. One of the reasons why men always talk about this whole masculine energy thing. These hoes out here getting too masculine. Well, you know, the world is a yin and a yang, and everything is based on interaction, balance, positive and negative. You ever think that women might be getting a little bit more masculine because men are starting to become a lot more pussified? I mean, men are becoming a lot more feminine. Seriously. What do you expect? What do you expect? The world works on a system of collateral, all right? The world makes complementary changes for things that occur naturally to create an equilibrium or a stasis in the environment. If men are becoming increasingly delicate, men are becoming increasingly sensitive, men are becoming increasingly pussified, well, naturally, to fix that imbalance, something else is going to have to compensate. So now y'all created a bunch of masculine women. If you ask the women why y'all act so masculine, they'll tell you because a lot of men out here pussy. You know what I mean? I don't understand what's so confusing about that. If you understand anything about nature, if you understand anything about yin and yang, you can see that a lot of the women that have masculine energy, that masculine energy comes out when they're dealing with a feminine man. If you're dealing with just like if a man is dealing with a feminine woman, then the man is going to appear to be more masculine. And a lot of that is based on the interaction. A lot of that is based on the aura. You know what I'm saying? If you come in as a man into a situation and a woman can sense, this motherfucker ain't about shit. He's a pussy. They're not gonna give you any respect. They're not gonna give you respect. So, and the thing is that if you take a look, right? Look at all the male content creators. Look at all these lost ass incels. Kevin Samuels got 1 million followers. That means it's 1 million motherfuckers that need a daddy to teach him how to talk to women, teach him how to deal with life. It's 1 million. Now, I'm not saying anything about Kevin Samuels or, I'm not dissing him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that many men, there's a market for that. And then there's a lot of women that call in. The women is just as misguided as men. Like I said, many men and women are equally delusional. But there's 1 million people, let's just say 1 million people who don't know how to conduct themselves as far as courting in a relationship. 1 million. 1 million. Look at Fresh and Fit got 300,000. Look at how many red pill content creators have so many followers. What that tells you is that society is lost. You baseline have no idea how to communicate with the opposite sex. What do you expect? What do you expect? Look at the women content creators. There's not really a lot of women content. There's some women content creators who have faithful followings and they have a lot of people that follow them and watch them and, go to their Patreons and stuff like that. But nowhere near as many men. Why is that? Why is there so many men who need counsel from other men? The women is just basically out here just, talking, having conversations. Why is that? Why is that? You should ask yourself that question. And the thing is that the numbers don't lie. You don't even have to get all deep into YouTube analytics to ask that question. The more people there are, right? Supply and demand, right? Then that means that there's a need that needs to be met. If Kevin Samuels has 1 million subscribers, Fresh and Fit has what? Close to 400,000. They hit 400,000 twice, remember? Abba said that. He brought that to our attention. So that's a lot of people, man. That's 1.5 million people. 1.5 million people who are men and women who are looking for some kind of direction because they don't have common sense to know how to direct themselves. Now add up the top amount of female content creators who do like the equivalent to what would be female red pill content. What's the problem? What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Seriously, what's wrong with you? Why don't you know how to conversate? How old are you lost little motherfuckers, man?
It's that simple, fellas. Don't make them a priority, and they will chase you. Build it, and they will come.
And that's just natural, man. And what Allende is saying is that basically you have to have self-love. You have to take care of yourself first. And I think what that would lead to is that you can't validate yourself by who you're with. You can't validate yourself by who you're with. So you build yourself to the optimal person that you are. And once you create that optimal person, you'll be radiating, you know, a aura that will attract basically whatever it is that you want. You build your business, you build your body, you build your mind, you build yourself, everything else will follow. That's the same, that's principles coming from like stoicism. You know what I mean? I can't argue with that. I agree with that. You know what I mean? It's common sense. Before people go into the red pill stage, a lot of times people end up falling into the narcissism rabbit hole. They look into narcissism content to see what happened. How did the relationship turn toxic? Why did all this happen? Right? And the first thing that they tell you in the narcissism content will be to use what's called the gray rock method, right? Use the gray rock method, and while you doing the gray rock method, put space between yourself and that person. While you putting the space between yourself and that person, you're supposed to work on yourself. You're supposed to build yourself up. You should always be in a constant state of continuous improvement. That's even what they say about a business. Even if a business is meeting all of its objectives, it's always still supposed to be in a state of continuous improvement. You know what I mean? So that's important. And I think if he was able to expand on what he was saying, I think that that's what he would say. You know what I mean?
Maintain it, and they're going to want to stay. But who does that really benefit? When spinning plates, keep it temporary. Get in, get out. Reappointments should be at your discretion. Reschedule for no one. The amount of energy and effort that it takes to reschedule with a chick or try to change her mind, it takes much less effort to just replace her.
See, didn't I just tell you that? Didn't I just tell you in the old hip hop, they said, don't chase them, replace them? And I'll tell you what, man, I had a situation one time where I had some stuff planned and it didn't pan out because the person flaked. I ain't even say anything. That was just it. It was just understood. I understood it flaked, whatever. Kept it moving. That individual called back and they really tried to make sure that the plans could be rescheduled. I'm not about to chase you around and reschedule. You know what I'm saying? If you already broke the commitment, you broke the commitment. It is what it is. That's telling me something. So I'm listening to what you tell me. And that's another thing too. A lot of times women do not say things directly. They speak more so with action, and they speak more so with body language, and they speak more so with tone and cadence. So one thing that a lot of women tend to not necessarily find attractive, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get in the draws if you do this or whatever. But if you understand how women communicate and you can read it and you can communicate back effectively, that's one thing that women really appreciate. You know what I mean? So, again, I don't think that men can measure other men's value. That's kind of strange to me. But I think if you asked like some women, you know what I mean? I think women would tell you like, yeah, we don't always say everything directly, but we do have our form of communication. And if there's men who can pick up on that, we appreciate that, because it does. Anytime you imagine if you spoke a different language and then every single time you try to speak to somebody else, you have to change your language pattern so that person can communicate. Like if English isn't your native language, you're speaking to somebody that speaks Espanol as their first language. Well, trying to get them to switch to English and talk to you, they might be able to convey a message, but it's not going to come off properly and things might be missed. So if you allow them to be able to communicate in their way of communication and you're able to understand and pick up on signs and different things like that, I'm telling you, man, they appreciate that, because you got to understand 90% of women, and this is just some arbitrary statistic that I've dealt with in my lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no empirical evidence about this, but we can actually set up a survey and people can comment in the comments, women that come to my videos, and see if this is accurate. A lot of times women don't expect men to understand what they're saying anyway. Women don't understand men to accurately interpret them anyway. But when you do, it's almost always a positive. It's almost always a positive. Not trying to be funny. A lot of times for women, a lot of times, you know, you might not be the best looking brother in the world. A lot of times, if you just understand what they say, a lot of times that's a turn on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times. But I don't know if that's true or not. You know what I'm saying? The women who come to the video, let me know if that's true or false, all right?
Play the numbers, man. Get that value in life and only share it temporarily with those who deserve it. Make sure the women that you're pursuing is top notch. The last thing you want is for a 6 to have little respect for you simply because you would deal with a 6. You think,
man, that's the same. Listen, see, this is what I'm talking about how all of this stuff is transferable. You see what he's saying? Basically, he's talking about resume building. All right? Basically, what he's talking about is resume building. Okay? So if you start, and this is what I be looking at, man. Like when I look at these dudes who be having these, you know what I'm saying, women that are not like, you know, it's just kind of, you can kind of tell, like, damn, dude, like you got like 9 baby moms and what's going on? You know what I mean? The kind of women that you deal with is a reflection on you. You know what I'm saying? The way that you deal with those women is also a reflection on you. So if you consistently deal with thoughts, if you consistently deal with like low quality females, and when I say low quality females, I'm talking about women who would be low quality under anybody's judgment, a man or a woman. I'm not trying to sit up here and be degrading the women. I'm not sitting up here saying that single mothers are low value. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about low quality characters. You know what I'm saying? You decide to be with a slut. You know what I'm saying? You decide to be with a thought, whatever. You know what I mean? You people are going to look at you. Women are going to look at you and be like, this dude will deal with anything, so I don't want to deal with him. It's the same thing as a job. That's why it's so important to negotiate your pay rate. What he's talking about is resume and negotiating your pay rate. You know what I mean? When you go to your job, you should always be aiming to try to maximize your income. Because when you maximize your income, you're setting yourself up for your next entry level job. So if you start a job and you're making $50, $60 an hour, all right, this your first job out of college, you have set the tone for yourself now. So you need to try to make sure that you maximize what you're starting out with. If you don't start off at the optimal, if your job, if you're going into a career field that pays between $25 and $50 and you start out at $26 and someone else with the same experience, same education starts out at $35, it's going to take you years to catch up to what that person started out as, and y'all got the same education. Y'all got the same resources, but you just put yourself behind. That person now has an edge on you. He got marketability. And when people pay, that shows that there may or may not be more value associated with you. So, you know, when people see your exes and stuff like that, they be like, oh, okay, I got me a catch. You know what I'm saying? Somebody look at somebody else's exes, be like, oh, anybody could get this fool. You got to pay attention to that, man. You know, a lot of times, you know, people talk about that thing, optics, like you hear Duke and Don talk about optics. I think Allende actually mentioned it one time when he was on Duke and Don's live stream. Optics, you know what I'm saying? It's not just your optics either. It's how people perceive you. That's one of the reasons why people like Kevin Samuels. I know that I have subscribers that don't like Kevin Samuels, and there's a lot of stuff about Kevin Samuels and a lot of stuff that Kevin Samuels says that I absolutely do not agree with. However, there are some very solid facts and things that you can learn from Kevin Samuels. For one, his live stream is extremely professional. Same with Fresh and Fit. I don't like Fresh and Fit at all. I don't like anything about them dudes. At least I could find a couple positive things to say about Kevin Samuels. I don't like Fresh and Fit at all. I don't like anybody that, you know what I'm saying, like nobody that mess with them. It's one of the reasons why I'm like, damn, this, you know what I'm saying, Authentic Alpha's got some talent. He a good content creator, and he seemed like, you know what I'm saying, pretty cerebral. I don't understand. Like, man, you should be running that shit. Why aren't those dummies working for you? You know what I mean? I hope this is the start of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like Kevin Samuels, you know what I mean? His aesthetic is very impressive. You know what I mean? Like he always dresses for the part. His live stream studio setup, very nice, very professional. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he set the standard. He turned off, you can't publicly chat in there. You got to be a member. That's a bold move. And the only thing it did look like was increase his memberships to his channel. So you got to give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so we have regular YouTube and then we have pay-per-view YouTube. Kevin Samuels is pay-per-view because you're never watching a Kevin Samuels live stream without paying and being able to interact. You have to pay to interact in there. You in order to comment in the comments threads, it actually costs you money. You can call into the Zoom and get embarrassed on there for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but you can't get mad at that though. Clearly it's working. It's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? So he's set the standard already. So just imagine what goes on with like the members only stuff and all that. Look, check this out. I just got a subscriber. So, you know, somebody help your boy out with a membership so I can get like KS.
Okay.
I ain't gonna be nothing like KS, but still help your boy out with a membership. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I gotta agree with that, man. I feel that. You always gotta hold yourself to a high standard, which is something that I advise everybody to do. And you have to have quality, and you have to require quality. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be confident and uphold those expectations. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that at all.
Think about that for a minute. How much respect do you get at the Kia dealership? Not as much respect as you get at the Range Rover dealership.
That's facts.
You dig? Take those chances, take that risk. Rejection will come. But if you go and be rejected, make sure you're getting rejected by tens. You dig? Just putting something else on your head, man. Build the best you. Be distracted for no one. Peace.
That's real shit, man. That is real shit. That is brilliant content. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that's 100% solid advice. 100% solid advice. I couldn't have said it no better. You know what I'm saying? You see me, I got through this video, looked like in about a half an hour. He said the shit in, you know, what would that be? Like 10% less? Is that what that would be? 10%? 10% less? 3 minutes? I don't know. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. The high value man. The high value man looks like, according to Allende, is based on your input into yourself. The more input you put into yourself, the more output you will have. The more output that you have of value, the higher your perceived value. It seemed like that's what the formula for that would be, the mathematical formula, the algorithm. The more self-healthy, valuable input that you put into yourself, the higher your value output radiation will be. The higher value your output aura will be. How's that sound? That sound pretty accurate? Did I describe that properly? Who knows? Hopefully it helps. Make sure y'all go over there to Authentic Alphas. Get that brother a sub. Make sure you know what I'm saying, tell him, yeah, I seen Blacklight Revelations do a review on your video. Make sure you smash the like button. Hit the bell icon. Do the same thing for me over here. And I will catch you all on the next video. All right.